Hey guys, hope you're all well. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a place called Rice. I actually used to come here a lot back in my uni days. They had a spot in Piccadilly Gardens. They've actually now moved to just outside Piccadilly Station. Really easy to find actually. You just walk out the station, turn right, walk for like a minute, and then you'll find Rice. Really easy to find. As the name suggests, they do have a ton of rice dishes. However, in this video, what I'm aiming to show you actually, yep, they have rice dishes, but they also have some noodle dishes, some other dishes as well. These guys focus on different cuisines. We've got Japanese, Chinese, Jamaican, American. There's a ton of different cuisines. I'm going to order a few different bits and bobs, like I said, from the menu, from probably flavors from different cuisines, because what I want to do is actually see whether they nail the flavors of these various cuisines. But just before I do that, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I've got a ton of videos for the Manchester area coming. I think what I might do actually is start with some lamb chops, because that's a little bit interesting. I came in here thinking I'd get a load of rice dishes, but I think I actually want to try the lamb chops. Let's go for that first. They've got some bao buns, which I love as well. Yeah, menu looks pretty good actually, I have to say. Okay, yes, so let's actually start, like I said, with those lamb chops. So these are actually char grilled. They've got their own sauce, which smells really good. You know, something can look spicy. It looks so spicy. I'm going to try these. They're laying on a bed of rice and side salad. You've also got a little white sauce there as well, just to cool it down actually if it's a bit too spicy. I'm going to try it first without the sauce, and then I'll try the sauce separately. Much softer than I thought. The chops absolutely are super tender. The actual sauce on top is packed full of flavor, like absolutely packed full of flavor. I think the chap said there's some Scotch bonnet in there, but actually a bit of pineapple, there's a little bit of sweetness. Delicious, absolutely delicious. But yeah, super spicy. I think a little bit of sauce will be nice. I do like my spice, but I would say make sure you get the white sauce with the chops. They just balance those flavors a little bit, because the chops are super spicy but very tender and very nice. I'm not sure if the other dishes are going to have this specific rice, but the rice here has actually got a ton of flavor as well. It's really nice. Actually, I would say a touch too flavorful. Get some plain rice with that would be perfect. Okay, so the next dish that I'm eating is actually the salt and pepper chicken with a side of egg fried rice. Now you'll notice this salt and pepper chicken is actually wet, when traditionally salt and pepper chicken is a dry dish. Here what they've done actually is it's a little bit of a fusion really between like a Cantonese salt and pepper chicken and a Taiwanese dish. So they've got their own spices, they've got some ginger in there, some coriander in there, they've got a few bits and bobs in there. They actually made it into a sauce. It's actually a wet dish here. So quite excited to try this, because I've never had a wet salt and pepper. Let's get some chicken. Let's get a load of rice with it as well. Definitely a little bit different. I'm used to a dry salt and pepper. This is definitely a fusion dish actually. So you've got the salt and pepper flavors coming through, but you've actually got their own sauces coming through as well. I love the actual egg fried rice. I think the chops that I had before on top of these egg fried rice would be an absolute winner. Delicious. Are there any fans of salt and pepper chicken here? I love salty foods in general, so surprise, one of my favorite dishes. If you ever see salt and pepper on the menu, if you see it as like fries or pieces of chicken, get it, you'll like it. Okay, so next up we've actually got the Chinese crispy shredded beef. Thin slices of beef coated in like a sweet chili. Looks fantastic. Again, piping hot, which is awesome. Let's give it a go. The teriyaki really coming through. There's some umami in there. There's a good amount of sweet chili going on. There's a good crispiness to it as well actually. Portion size is decent, but I have to say, I'm a bit of a rice fan. The egg fried rice here, banging. The beef itself, tasty as well. 3 for 3 so far. Let's carry on. We've got plenty more dishes to come. Okay, so now we're moving on to the Hoisin duck noodles. So this actually got a base of udon noodles, which I love. There's some duck in there, which is hand pulled, which sounds amazing. I've actually had this dish in Hong Kong. So if I find it in the UK and it's halal, it would be silly not to try it. It's actually quite hard to find halal duck, so let's give this a go. The hoisin coming through really well. Udon actually is a great choice for a dish like this, because udon is fantastic at actually absorbing flavor. So if you have a really flavorful sauce and you've got really flavorful meat that's covered in that sauce, mix it in with some udon and it's really good at absorbing that flavor. So a really good choice for a dish like this actually. Udon noodles are fantastic. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm a pretty big noodle fan and I love my udon noodles. This is really tasty, and honestly it's so hard to find halal duck in the UK that this is awesome. So seen it all over the walls. I think one of their slogans is like fresh, fast, ugly, delicious. I think that's the slogan. I think, yeah, fresh, fast, ugly, delicious. But so far I have to say, it's been fresh, it's been fast. Actually, the food has been presented really, really well. So it's actually quite pretty food and it's definitely delicious. Okay, so moving on to their Malaysian chili chicken. This is actually their top seller. The chicken is marinated for 12 hours apparently, so it should be packed full of flavor. This is cooked with some jasmine rice. They've got a ton of stuff going on here actually. I went to Malaysia about, I think just over a year ago, prior to the pandemic, so I think it was about a year and a half ago. So hopefully this takes me back to Malaysia, so let's give it a go. Got a pretty good kick to that. Absolutely piping hot. What I like is things here are cooked to order. They cook it like super quickly on a high heat as to not burn it, so it's not in the pan for long. It's got a really, really good depth of flavor, but what I do like, because I like spicy food, it's got a really good amount of kick to it. The chicken itself is quite soft as well. You can see that it's been marinated for a long time because the chicken's actually absorbed and is holding a fair bit of flavor. I can see why this is actually one of their best sellers. I really, really like this dish. I like the lamb chops as well. They were like super soft, and the marinade and the sauce on top of it was really unique actually. I've not had anything like that for quite a while. So the chops themselves were soft and nice and tender. That's great. But the actual marinade was really, really good. I really enjoyed that. The duck itself as well, just because it's unique, it's really hard. Do you know what? If there's a prospective person looking to open a restaurant watching this video, put some halal duck on your menu, because that is sorely missing in the UK market for sure. I've just seen that you can add an egg to any dish for 99p. Don't know why that's excited me, but it has extra protein, man. 99p, you can add egg to any dish. Generally, when I went to Indonesia, Malaysia, they had like a fried egg on top of lots of rice-based dishes. So yeah, that fits, right? Portion sizes here are absolutely massive, and you would really expect that with a rice dish being sort of $8.95 this dish. So the portion size is reflective of that price. It is actually a pretty big meal. I'll link the actual menu in my description. What I'm going to start doing, guys, I'm actually not going to start putting prices in the description. And the reason why I say that is because already I've been on YouTube for what, a year and a half. In that time, so many of the prices that I put in the description have actually been amended by the restaurants. Things change, right? So if I release a video in 2021, by 2023, it's highly likely things change. So what I'm going to start doing is actually linking the menu in the description. So you click on that menu, and that should obviously be like an ever-evolving type document. So if they change their prices, that'll get reflected on that menu. Okay, so here's something which I don't usually do actually. So ordered a few dishes and whatnot, doing my review, but having a really, really good conversation with the chap actually who works here, who is Malaysian. And I was saying that I've actually been to Malaysia. I love the country. I would love to go back one day, but then obviously, you know, the pandemic hit and all that kind of stuff. What he's actually done, which is super kind, I'm very touched. Actually, he's made me a Nasi Lemak, which is a dish that I actually had in Malaysia like almost every day. I love a good Nasi Lemak. So generally what happens is you get a big bowl, in the middle you have some white rice, and then what you can actually do is pick different components. So you can like add on some sambal, which is like a really, really nice sauce. Think of it that way. You've got some egg, you've got some curry, you can add your own stuff on. So he's actually made me a Nasi Lemak. So I thought that was awesome. I believe this is not on the menu, but I'm gonna try it anyway. The curry is super coconutty. It's made with thigh, so it's a little bit softer. The sauce, what they do, it actually starts thin, and then they keep cooking it. They reduce it all the way down, so it's got like a really thick, creamy, coconutty taste to it, with some really soft thigh meat. So it's like a just all-inclusive, all-for-one, really good meal. Like I said, this isn't even on the menu, but delicious. Okay, so let's finish off actually with one of my favorite things to eat. I had this a lot when I was visiting Hong Kong. These are actually the bao buns, and normally they come in a portion of 2. What I've done, they've been kind enough to do this for me actually, is give me 3 individual ones, so I can try all the flavors, but I don't have to, you know, get 3 portions. So there is a pulled beef, a pulled chicken, and there's a hoisin duck as well. So let me try the beef one first. Oh, this is absolutely filled to the brim. That slow cooked beef in there, it was so tender, it's so soft. The actual bao itself, if you haven't had baos, guys, I eat them. If you've seen me on my Instagram, I show them all the time. I eat baos all the time. I really, really enjoy them. I buy them actually and just steam them at home. But it's like a soft, but like almost like a stodgy bread, but just a really, really lovely stodginess. It goes really, really well actually. We put some pulled meats in there with a load of spice. Baos are one of my favorite things to eat. The beef one was tasty. Let's move on to, ooh, there's a Korean chicken one. I know it's Korean because it's got kimchi in it. So let me try that. A little bit of kick, a little bit of sweetness. I do think the beef is my favorite, but the kimchi does come through in that well as well. Ooh, let's try now. I'm excited to try duck again because it's so hard to find halal duck. So whenever I see it, man, gotta get it. Look at that, absolutely filled to the brim. This, like I said, is the Hoisin duck. For me, that was a little bit too sweet, the Hoisin duck, but Hoisin is a sweet sauce, so it's true to form. So if you like Hoisin, I think you'll enjoy that. For me, the beef was absolutely phenomenal. I would get that again in a heartbeat, and the chicken was really, really nice as well. And the Hoisin was true to form. It's a sweet kind of sauce. If you like that, get it. But man, I give the actual beef ones a hey man, they were really good. Okay, so I actually get asked this quite a lot actually. Do I finish all the food that I eat? So sometimes yes, sometimes no. If I have people with me, it's a lot easier. Other times, like today, I actually take it home because there is no way I could finish all of those meals on my own in one go. What I do, however, is either share it with the people that I'm with, or if like today, I'm on my own, I actually just take it home and eat it throughout the day. There was a lot of food. Okay, so that does take me to the end of my review. I'm actually gonna stand outside underneath the shelter because it's really wet today. So yeah, really good variety of dishes there, variety of flavors. Overall, I did really, really enjoy it. I think if you're looking for a decent rice-based dish and you're not really necessarily sure what you want, they've got a really good variety, man. So for example, I loved the actual Malaysian chicken. I love the chops. I think they're the two things that I would definitely get again for sure. But no, do check them out. I'll put their Google location, their menu and everything in the description. So if you want to, check them out in there. But I'll see you guys in that next video. Like the video if you like the video, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content. Bye 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 bye.